Ladies, we need to talk. There's one spot most people, especially us seniors, completely overlook when it comes to hygiene. Yes, it's the real reason behind that smell many older people carry around without even realizing it. If you're unaware of it, you might be carrying it too. Stick with me until the end, because I'll show you exactly how to clean it the right way, and trust me, you'll never forget it again. Let's dive into part 1, the truth about old people smell. We've all heard that term before. Some whisper it, others say it out loud, usually younger folks who think it'll never happen to them. But here's the truth nobody really talks about. It's real, and it's not just because someone skips a shower now and then. It's far more complicated than that. As we age, our bodies change in ways no one warns us about. They tell you about the wrinkles, the gray hair, and the aching joints, but no one pulls you aside and says, "Honey, you're going to smell different too." Our skin, which once naturally kept itself balanced, starts to produce less oil. That oil used to protect us, moisturize us, and even carry away some of the dirt and bacteria. But now, it slows down. Dead skin cells don't shed as easily. They cling on, especially in those warm, hidden corners of our body. Worse, the natural chemical changes in our body start creating a compound called 2-non-enol. You've probably never heard of it, but trust me, you've smelled it. It's musty, almost greasy, and it's the main reason people associate a certain smell with aging. And here's the kicker. Your usual soap and water routine barely touches it. You can scrub yourself raw, but if you're missing the right spots or not scrubbing the right way, that scent clings to you. It sticks to your clothes, your pillowcases, even your favorite chair. You don't smell it because you're used to it, but other people do. That's why today's video matters. Knowing this gives you power. The power to change it, to fix it, and to make sure you're not the one people whisper about when you leave the room. Part 2. Why seniors are more prone to the odor. Let me explain something else that most doctors won't even tell you. Why does this happen to us as we get older? Why doesn't the 25-year-old down the street smell like this, no matter how sweaty he gets mowing the lawn? Well, ladies, it's all biological, and it sneaks up on us. Our skin, which used to shed those old cells easily, stops turning over as fast. Instead of those cells falling off naturally, they hang around, mixing with sweat, oils, and pollutants from the air. All of that together creates a perfect little breeding ground for bacteria. Then there's 2-non-enol. Yes, I'm bringing that one up again. You see, our bodies didn't even produce this compound when we were younger. It starts ramping up around our 40s, 50s, and beyond. It's produced when our skin's fatty acids oxidize, which means the oils on our skin break down over time. Now, here's where it gets tricky. This compound has a distinct smell. Some call it greasy, others say musty or grassy, but one thing's for sure, it lingers. Perfumes might cover it for a minute, but they don't remove it. In fact, sometimes they mix with it and make it worse. Let me tell you, some areas of our body make this smell worse than others. Places where skin rubs together, folds, or just doesn't get much air. You might be thinking under the arms or between the legs, and you're right. But there's one spot almost everyone forgets, and that's the worst offender of all. Part 3. The spot everyone misses. Behind the ears. Alright, now let me finally get to it. The one spot that almost every senior forgets. Behind the ears. Sounds too simple, doesn't it? But hear me out. I'll bet you can't remember the last time you really scrubbed back there. Not just a quick splash of water, but actually took your fingers and rubbed behind your ears, right where your jaw meets your neck. See that area? It's the perfect storm. The skin is thin, the oil glands are active, and because of the shape, sweat and oils collect there without you feeling it. Most of us shampoo our hair and figure the water running down will handle it, but that's not enough. And it's not just sweat. The area behind the ears gathers oils from our scalp, residue from our hair products, dead skin, and then even dust from the environment. Every time you wear earrings, glasses, or even a high collar, you're trapping all that against your skin. And since it's out of sight, it's out of mind. But over time, that buildup turns sour. Trust me, when I first heard this years ago, I didn't believe it either, until I wiped a damp cloth behind my ears one night. And the smell, my goodness, it was embarrassing. No one had ever told me. The worst part, no one will tell you. Your family might notice, your friends might notice, but they'll never say, "Hey, did you forget to wash behind your ears?" They'll just quietly pull back from hugs or stop sitting too close. And that's a heartbreak I wouldn't wish on anyone. Part 4. What happens if you keep ignoring it? Now, what happens if you keep ignoring that spot? Because let's face it, we all have our habits, and changing them isn't easy, especially after decades of doing things a certain way. But here's the truth, and I need you to hear me. If you don't clean behind your ears properly, it turns into what I call a silent stink. You won't notice it because you're used to your own scent, but others will. First, the oils build up, then bacteria show up and start breaking those oils down. That's where the smell comes from. Bacteria living off the stuff we leave behind. No amount of perfume, body spray, or scented lotion will fix it. In fact, those products might even make it worse, creating a strange sweet and sour smell that's hard to describe but easy to recognize. Over time, this can even affect your skin health. That area gets irritated. You might notice redness, itching, or even small bumps forming behind your ears or down your neck. And if you've ever wondered why your pillow smells a little off, or why the collar of your blouse gets grimy faster than it used to, well, now you know. Worst of all, though, it changes how people interact with you. They might not hug you as often. They'll pull back sooner. They might even avoid sitting too close, and it won't be because they don't love you. It's just human nature. But here's the good news. You can fix it, you can reverse it, and I'll tell you exactly how in the next part, so don't you dare go anywhere. This is too important to miss. Part 5, how to clean it properly. It's easier than you think. Alright, now we're getting to the good part, the solution. And let me reassure you, it's much simpler than you think. You don't need a fancy, expensive cleanser or some new gadget. Just a little effort, and you'll feel so much fresher. The key here is consistency. You don't need to scrub behind your ears with a scrub brush or harsh soap. That could irritate the sensitive skin there. What you need is a gentle, everyday approach to your hygiene routine. Here's what I recommend. Next time you're in the shower, after you've lathered up your hair and body, take a moment and pay attention to those places you often forget. Behind the ears is top of the list for me. Take a little bit of your regular body wash or mild face cleanser and gently rub it in with your fingertips. Now here's the trick. Use warm water to rinse. Don't just splash a little water back there. Take your time to really rinse the area. You'd be surprised how much soap and residue stay behind, especially if you've been using hairspray, gel, or even shampoo. But don't stop there. After you rinse, gently pat the area dry with a soft towel. We all know how important it is to dry off after a shower, but it's especially important in areas like behind the ears, where moisture can linger. If you leave it damp, you're just inviting bacteria to start the process all over again, and we don't want that. Finally, remember, this isn't just a one-time fix. You need to make it part of your regular routine. It only takes seconds, but those seconds make all the difference in how you feel and how you smell. Now, let's talk about other commonly missed spots you should check. Since we're discussing forgotten places, there are a few other areas that tend to be overlooked and can also cause that same musty, uncomfortable smell. First, under the breasts. Some might think they're fine there, but trust me, skin folds under the breasts, especially for larger chests, can collect sweat, oils, and dead skin. The trick is to dry thoroughly, and maybe use a little powder or body spray to keep things fresh, but don't overdo it, as too much powder can lead to irritation. Next, consider the belly folds. These areas trap moisture too, especially if you have a fuller belly. It's the same story. Sweat and oils build up, creating a haven for bacteria. After washing, take a moment to ensure the area is dry. You might want to give extra attention to this area during hot weather or after physical activity. And don't forget between the toes. It might seem silly, but we can't ignore our feet. When was the last time you really scrubbed between your toes? It's an area where sweat builds up, especially in shoes that don't breathe well. Keeping your feet clean and dry, using some foot powder, and regularly checking your toenails will keep things fresh, and you'll be amazed at the difference it makes. Finally, consider the back of your knees and elbows. These spots are often forgotten too. They don't rub against clothes, but collect sweat and oils, so make sure they're getting the attention they deserve. Now, let's talk about the benefits of tackling this. Freshness, confidence, and dignity. I know this sounds like a lot of attention to detail, but trust me, it pays off. Once you start paying attention to these spots, and specifically behind your ears, something wonderful happens. You feel fresh again. You don't feel like you're walking around with a secret that everyone else knows. You know that feeling when you just showered and you're clean? It's that extra boost of confidence that comes from knowing you've taken care of the things no one else would even think of. That's the secret I'm giving you today. It's not just about hygiene. It's about self-respect. You deserve to feel good about yourself. And as we age, that self-respect becomes even more important. How we present ourselves, how we feel in our own skin, that is what matters. Let me tell you, when you don't have to worry about smelling like the old person smell, you'll start walking a little taller and feel more confident when you go out. You'll feel more like yourself, without second-guessing hugs from friends or family. More than anything, you'll feel proud because you're showing the world that age doesn't define you, and neither does any unpleasant odor. I know from personal experience that it works. Once I started paying attention to these small areas, I felt like I had more control over my life, and you deserve that control too. Now, let's not forget to teach our loved ones. Our children and grandchildren can benefit from these tips just as much as we do. While we often focus on caring for ourselves, they might be missing these little hygiene habits too. We all get busy, right? But teaching our loved ones to take care of their bodies in the same way can help everyone feel more confident and fresh. Whether they're in their 30s or 50s, they could be missing some of the same spots. So, why not be the one to share the wisdom? Teach them how to clean behind their ears, show them how to dry properly after showers, and pass on your newfound wisdom. It's like a gift, an ongoing legacy of good habits, and you'll be proud, knowing you helped them keep their freshness and confidence. Ladies, I hope this opened your eyes because it certainly did for me when I first learned. Don't let something so simple ruin how people remember you. If you found this helpful, go ahead and give this video a like, and comment below if you've ever heard about the behind the ear trick before, or if this was new to you. Most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Also, I write a special weekly email just for women like us, practical tips, personal stories, and things no one else talks about. Join my Savvy Senior newsletter. The link's below. I'd love to have you there. Stay fresh, stay confident, and I'll see you next time.